Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to my review of Obliterate the Week by Berzerker Legion. Brand new band, their debut album, although the musicians themselves are not brand new to the music world, or to the metal world really. So let's start right into the album review. I like to look at the artwork first. That's the thing that draws you in to make you listen to the music. So that's the question you got to ask yourself. Does this artwork draw me in to want to listen to the music? I would say absolutely. It's a epic war scene with what looks like two death knights, one kneeling to the general or the leader or whomever that might be. It's got very much a Viking vibe. He's holding a head in his hand, which is pretty cool. Really, really huge, awesome sword. Some dope plate mail. Very vibrant colors too that really draw me with that orange in the background. It's very ominous. And then the logo itself, Berzerker Legion. That's a really, really cool logo. It's very aggressive. It looks like it would be something you'd see at war. You can also read it, which not all metal bands do, and a little bit of a different script for the album title, which is really cool. So this art, I think, is super awesome, and that's what drew me in to listen to it. Honestly, when it first came out, I was looking through all these albums, and it was the first album that drew me, and I thought the album art was so cool that I was going to give it a listen. So that's what you want your album art to do. So 5 out of 5. Good job on that, Berzerker Legion. So the music itself, perhaps the most important part, although I do judge an album by its cover. So there's 3 songs that really stick out to me as being really awesome on this album. The first one's A World in Despair. It has a really cool intro riff, very fast-paced interludes, but really what makes this song for me is it has a really heavy breakdown switch in the middle that sounds really awesome. And that's kind of what I live for, those Lamb of God or Pantera headbanging grooves, and it's definitely got that in spades. It's got a blitzing guitar melody over it, everything you would like in it. The vocals are pretty much the same in every song, very heavy, very much Viking metal style. I think they sound great and they match the music and the war theme. I just can't really understand what he's saying. Maybe I don't have the ear for it, but I do listen to metal quite a bit, and I just can only pick up words here and there. So it's a little bit of a drawback that I can't understand what he's saying, but the music sounds so good, and it matches the music so well that it doesn't take it away from it too much for me. So World in Despair is a 5 out of 5 for me. Of Blood and Ash was their first single. That's an awesome song. It just hits you right in the face with the same heavy riff and kind of keeps that momentum throughout the whole song, and just when you start to get a little bit tired of the song, it ends. So it's the perfect length. It's just the perfect headbanging song, you non-stop throughout the whole thing. I think it's a great song. 5 out of 5 for that. Obliterate the Week has the coolest guitar riff in the whole thing. It's got like a slide riff to it, and he's got like a war chant that kind of goes on with different parts of it that sounds really cool. I can't quite understand if what he's saying or if he's saying a real word. It sounds like courage to me, but maybe he's saying something different. I could have bothered to look up the lyrics, but I didn't. So that song's also awesome. Both of those are 5 out of 5s. Those are the 3 songs I find myself listening to over and over. They've made my Metal 2020 playlist. If you're going to check out this album, look at World in Despair, Of Blood and Ash, and Obliterate the Week for sure. So let's look at the rest of the album. The next 2 best songs to me that aren't quite 5s, Rise of the Berzerkers is a great way to introduce the album. It's a great opener. It's kind of an ambient noise, but not quite noise. It is melodious in its way, but it's got a doom feel that builds up over time into a guitar riff. The guitar riff's pretty solid. I also think it could have been a little bit better for the introduction. And it's a shorter song because it's the introduction song, but I think it's a great way to open the album. I'd give that song a 4, but you only really want to listen to that if you're listening to the whole album, so it's not something you're just going to pull off the album necessarily and listen to by itself. The Falling Down is also a great song. It's got some rolling style guitarists is the best way I could describe them, and it's got a very melodic guitar part played over it. It sounds like Vikings marching off to war, which is pretty much every song on this album sounds like Vikings marching off to war, doing battle, which is what it's about. So that's a great song. I don't think it's something that I find myself wanting to listen to over and over, but when it comes on, I'm ready for it. I think it's a great song. So 3.5, 4 on that one. Then it's got a bunch of solid songs. I am the Legion, the King of All Masters, and the Name of the Father. Really solid tracks. They don't stick out to me, and part of it might just be that Obliterate the Week and Of Blood and Ash, when I want to listen to Berzerker Legion, those are the ones I feel naturally drawn to and I want to listen. Those are really good headbanging grooves. These ones kind of more look to tell a story, I think. I Am the Legion has a pretty good relentless marching chug to it, but I think it starts to overstay its welcome. It needs a little bit of extra something to it. I don't know, a strong melody or something that I think would bring it up to the top. At least it's missing something for me. In the Name of the Father's got really cool serpentine type of riffs to it and some heavy moments. Solid song, but I think it's just solid. So I give that one a 3. And the King of All Masters is it's got some moments. It's got some really cool chugs halfway through, some cool transitionary riffs that I think sound really cool. It's kind of slow. Maybe that's just my tastes. I prefer heavier. I prefer faster. But that's not always true. I like slow songs and ballads. I think this one's just kind of slow and gets a little bit boring and a little bit drawn out, and it's a bit too long overall. If it had shortened up and even by a minute or two, I think it'd actually be a solid song. I just kind of get tired of the song after a while. And then finally, Upon the Throne of Mortem Evil and A Lurkling Evil. And A Lurkling Evil has a little star on Apple Music, implying that I guess a lot of people watch it, or that's the selection. It's not clear to me what that star means, but the highlight from Apple Music. A Lurkling Evil, lots of really fast-paced notes over some chugging riffs, which I like that juxtaposition. And it has a really cool bridge in the middle that kicks in, but I don't know, it's kind of a boring song to me. I don't really find myself wanting to go back to it. And Upon the Mortem Throne, some cool riffs, I guess, but nothing amazing, not memorable to me, so I don't find myself wanting to go back and listen to it. So that's what I think of each song individually. I think the album overall is very strong. When I judge it for everything, the music for each track, and for album art, I give this a 4.5 out of 5. Just because there's some filler in it, really. But if I'm finding that I want to listen to multiple songs in an album over and over, like I listen to Obliterate the Week of Blood and Ash and World in Despair pretty regularly, almost every day, and they're on my playlist, and I'm excited to listen to them. So I think it's a really great album. Check it out. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.